So we have our decisions on what is going to be happening, who is staying, who is going. I passed the buck to chat, which I shouldn't have way back when we had those freaking offers. But since I did, I figured, hey, why not? Chat voted to keep these guys. Will they now vote to get rid of them? That is the time. This final vote, though, for Markstrom is going down to the wire. And we'll see whether or not we take this 1 year, $3.1 million deal, or if he is on the way out. And then, of course, we know the other decisions that we've processed through that. By one vote, it is decided. On the way out, Markstrom, Morin, Letourneau, and Bootland. It'll be Wasselin and McQueen as the lone two to survive the cut and stick around with this team, which, to be honest, isn't that big of a surprise. These two of this group of talent, the best playoff performers outside of that 1 year from Morin. But we will be saying goodbye to former third-round pick Ashton Bootland. We'll be saying goodbye to former 34th overall pick Dean Letourneau. We'll be saying hello to Infinity for 25 months.
That with the Patriots
very much for that. Welcome back.
Been
Zach Morin, also a 34th overall pick, is gone. And the 6th round pick, Jesper Markstrom, also out. 27 years old. A little bit surprised chat didn't vote to keep him, but you know what? I'm all right with it. I'm all right with it. So there are indeed changes happening with this team. One major failure too many as we look to move forward and hopefully make the best of things from here. We're certainly going to get back to playing some younger guys in the lineup. Our coaching staff is set. We have nothing to worry about there. But we are going to have to bring in some scouts. Anybody with an A-, including Tiny Bowl, who has been a part of our coaching staff, scouting staff, whatever, for a while. Do that. We need Coach Patty Line. I'll see how good he is. I don't know if he'll be a B- like others before him. Also, my God, please? Ah, Jeffrey! So close. So close. That's the answer. Nepotism. His brother. That's the answer. Nepotism. Nepotism. Sasha Barkov, hit the bricks, Junior. We are turning this team into a boys' club. Let's go. If it works for the Oilers to at least get to the Stanley Cup final, probably not win, then it'll work for us. Nepotism is the key. It's the NHL. We should have known that nepotism was the way. We should have known the whole time. For the record, Patrick Laine is a B-. You got Nico Hischier there, Besser. There's that, Laine at a B-. That's not that bad. I fucking knew his picture would still be from him in Winnipeg because they just don't update that freaking database. So, but yeah, we're not going to have the space to sign Patty Laine right now. But there you go. The nepotism hire. We're hoping for the best. Obviously, the big thing will be the scouts and whether or not there is an offer sheet. You know how bad it is that someone with arguably the most famous last name in the history of our franchise doesn't even want to come here? You know how bad that is? That's a bad sign. That might even be a death knell, if we're being honest. Let's bring in old Patty Laine here. See if Barkov can get a job somewhere else where he might actually succeed, because Lord knows he won't succeed here. And I can't imagine... Laine reject, whatever. I can't imagine we're going to get a offer sheet for skewing at this point. At least one that will involve draft picks. Hope to be proven wrong there. Not gonna be. Not gonna be. Line A big league you. He sure did. Can you blame him? We are practically an AHL team. Practically. All right. We're listed as sellers now, which isn't surprising. But what I want to know... Yeah, we gotta obviously sign Skew in here. Oh man, this is the last. That was the last opportunity as well at getting him on an offer sheet. He'll be a UFA next year. That sucks. Is there anybody else? I can check to see where the cuts went. Yeah, I probably should have paid better attention to that, but obviously we were pretty focused on us. Let's bring in Roche. Let's bring in Nightingale. Even if we end up playing them at forward, at least they'll be playing in the AHL. Fiddler is 20 now. So let's bring in Fiddler. And then we're good from there. But yeah, we'll try to find out where our old friends happen to go. But I do want to set up our roster first, so... Palpatine, I'm glad you're enjoying. That series was a nightmare for me, as most series are. Oh, that's right. I sent the offer to Skew, and he didn't immediately sign like the other guys because he was an RFA. Skewin, would you please accept? Thank you, Calvin. Guess we still have some decent goaltending options. Whether or not anyone's going to be able to make a save, well, your guess is as good as mine. So Park, Derosha, Kapitanov, Turakov. And we need to decide from there who is making the team. Gallagher's an obvious no. You got Leonard, 20, medium elite. Helmerson's a medium 4, Jansson's a low 4. Do we have another medium elite in the system or just low elites? Looks like it's just low elites. Delorme's 23. The odds that you get any better are really slim. Vinehandle's 21. Sontag's 21. Nightingale's 19. Let's go for Delorme. I think we'll give Delorme a chance to try to develop here. And then for the forwards, this is obviously going to be drastically different than what it's been over the last couple of years. Because we did just let go of so much talent that we have had for a while. Low 6 for Tanabe. Ricci's not really going to get any better. You got Mod, a medium 6. Cypher's the low elite. Tanabe, the low elite. So we have 2 Tanabes. That makes sense as to why I was a little bit confused earlier. These 2 at 25 aren't going to get any better. Helms is 27 and isn't going to get any better. Who else can we fit into this lineup here? Is there anybody else that has a potential where it's worth skipping them to the top of the line? The answer is no. So unless we play defenseman at forward at the NHL level, which sounds insane, but honestly, might be our best way to advance here. We are going to try this. As stupid as it might be. Now is the time to really try different things to get this team back up to a half-decent level. So, let's see what the hell... Surprised you drafted Cademan, that's fair. What the hell will this team even look like? I mean, Nightingale's good there because we can kind of shelter them as a 4th line forward. Sontag and Leonard. Honestly, I'd rather have Leonard out there. And then have Delorme on the forward side of things. Yeah, that looks decent to me. That looks decent. Turkov's still a 3rd liner as well. That sounds about right. So we can go Kapitanov and Leonard, Vinehandle and Turakov. Not horrific. Vinehandle actually has a better shot. How the hell is that a thing? Kapitanov, Leonard, and then DeRoche and Park just continue to be our outrageously good top pairing. So then for the forwards. This is the big question. I think it does make a lot of sense to keep that top line together. They have been our top line for years and years and years now. And it could be the case. I was wondering if we could apply Goon Squad concept to NBA, like maybe only players with name physical. I mean, yeah, you could do, like, you know, you have to get 3-point shooters, you have to get the best defensive players, the tallest players possible. There's plenty of ways to do that in NBA. All right, just really quickly. So if we keep that top line together so that we have at least one really good line, right? Like our top 5, the 3 forwards, the 2 defensemen are fantastic. From there is where it gets a little bit scary. But if we sort this out, even by OVR, it would drop Ma down and would be above Haller because of the age. Eberlein's also a medium 6. This is one of the dumbest ideas we've had in a while, but it could work. Then Tamarinis is an outright medium elite. Not going to get much better, but not bad. So it would be Tamarinis, Delorme, and Cyphers. Not the best options for face-offs, but it could work. Second line is a little bit shaky. I need Heberlein and Haller to be center. So let's bump up Heberlein to be a center. Or you cut off small guys on the high end? I'd have to double check how players are drafted in NBA. But yeah, Crash said 6-1. That's not a bad way to view it. Look at the freaking chemistry we have, even though a lot of these guys are DFDs. That's surprising. Obviously, this would be very much in line with our old strategy of just trying to get dudes to develop. Skewing and bonk in goal. It's bad, and I don't think we'll be a playoff team. It's not completely atrocious. Just mostly atrocious, but not completely. So, yeah, I think we're gonna give it a try. Lindholm's not mine. Vukafuji and Fiddler were, but I'm not. Well, yeah, we'll take out Kali Hanula. Been a career AHLer for us. Let's get Fiddler in there. And who else can we take out? Sawyer. Get Sawyer out of there for Vukafuji. And then defense, is there anybody bring in? Just Roche. Let's bring Roche in for Gallagher. And then we'll take Hemingway out for Gallagher. Well, actually, we don't even need to do that. Just fuck Gallagher, I guess. Not the guy that smashed melons. Bless his heart. R.I.P. Alright, and, you know, it's, I guess, worth it to optimize this shit, even though... Oh, okay, who are the youngest players on the team? We're gonna sort this by age at this rate. I don't even care about potential. We're literally just gonna sort this by age. So that maybe somebody takes off, develops into something, advances higher than what their potential actually is. I don't know. We're desperate. That's fairly obvious. We'll put Owen above Enberg, though. Our Poe is 25. Between Ricci and Helms. We got Fiddler at 20. Wrights is also 25. Dreamer versus Chat in NHL would be a blast, but yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath for that one. So we got Walls at 22. Rate him higher than that guy. And then Vukafuji was 20. Cool. Yeah, the AHL is going to be significantly weaker than it's been, but that should be expected because the NHL is going to be significantly weaker than it's been. Who's actually better at defense? Harvey Ho, technically. And then defense. Well, low fours in the mix. Guess we'll get Janssen on that higher line. Beckham and Wolski, Janssen and Sean Bentley, Roche and Helmerson. At least that AHL team has good goaltending because they don't have much else going for them. Major, what's going on? Who's getting dry in 2025? The Boston Bruins, at least I hope. At least I hope. All right, let's see. So DeFazio is our current coach. We do technically have room for one more person here. In fairness, that could be... Well, you know, Barkov actually got signed. That's cool. Barkov did get signed. Good for him. So who's the best teacher? The best influence? We will go with this veteran-based coach, Patrick Moravich. And, oh god, how much money do you want, Patrick? Patrick. Let's see what happens there. We will see what happens from here. That signing to go through. We got to fix up all the staff, obviously. All right, so in terms of the fit for our team, DeFazio is 67%. Old Handsome Hansen, 55. Anybody top a 67? Witz, 63. Phillips, 58. Arkins, 58. I guess we know who our head coach is going to be. Lynn, 59. And Moravchik at a 54. Okay, so DeFazio is still our head coach. We're going to send Witt down to AHL goalie coach. You'll be bumped up as the assistant coach there. And that way, actually, because of the better influence, let's make you the NHL goalie coach. Bump you down. Harkins is a 58% fit at the AHL level. What about Lynn? Congratulations to Lynn. You're the new coach. And... means we need one more AHL coach. Go with you, hopefully. Ross. Kennedy. There you go, Ross. All right, let's fix up those scouts, and then we're going to see how this team does this year. Like I said, I fully expect us to be absolutely horrific. But, you know, again, we let go of certain guys. If it turns out that we get some good player development this year, but we're bad enough to get a good draft pick, we might honestly have a chance to do something. I need a NLA scout. Need an NLA scout, and I'm going to need an Extraliga scout, and then we are good. To try and find out where our old friends happen to go, because we don't know where they went yet. I'm sure they all got paid a boatload of money and are very happy that they will now have a fairly increased chance at winning a Stanley Cup, because they weren't going to win one here, from the looks of it. All right, let's find out who went where, shall we? It was just the big forwards that moved on, too. We kept all of our defensemen. All right. Good old Pavo line, eh? Buffalo. Calgary. We still haven't seen any of our old boys here. Carolina. Still haven't seen any of our old boys. Chicago. There's Connor Bedard now, 32 years old. Also, they signed Tanner Howe. What do you know? Colorado. All right, so Colorado is where Jesper Markstrom landed. Was the lowest overall of the bunch for us. He got a 2-year deal at 3.65. So, good for you, Jesper. Columbus. Nobody. Jesus Christ, that guy's on the third line for that. Dallas. Still none of our big names. How old's J-Rob at this point? 38 for Jason Robertson. Woo. Detroit. Still none of our old guys. Ed Money. Nope. Florida. Zach Morin went to Florida. 5 years at nearly $11.4 million for Zach Morin. So he stays in the Eastern Conference. And yes, Dallas had a Mason St. Louis. Los Angeles. Nobody that we're looking for. Quentin Byfield, now 35 years old. Good Lord. Thankfully, nobody went to Minnesota. I would have felt pretty betrayed. Nobody went to Montreal either. Cole Caulfield, now 36 years old. Nashville. Wow, we're having to wait a while, huh? New Jersey. Not a great New Jersey roster there. The Islander, and there are two of them. Dean Letourneau and Ashton Bootland both go to the Islanders. Wow. Bootland. 7 years at nearly 12 and a quarter. And Letourneau, 3 years at almost 14.6. Jesus. All right, New York. That is a hell of a lot of money. We help people get paid. Oh, also shout out to our old friend Aiden Silverthorne, who was a New York Ranger. We let go of him a while ago, though. Ottawa, nobody that we really care about. Tim Stützle, though, was 35 years old. Philly, nobody that we were looking for. Pittsburgh, nobody that we were looking for. Salt Lake City, nobody that we were looking for, but Jesus Christ, their right wing side. My God. San Jose. Dude, they got a gold third liner. Jesus Christ. Shout out to Matthias Pajärvi, though, 31 years old, 816 goals. This could be the year that he passes Wayne. That sounds ridiculous, but it's not. Seattle. Nobody that we were looking for. Quite a few golds for them, though. St. Louis. Again, same story for them. He'd need like 80. He's done it before. Tampa. Nobody that we were looking for. Toronto. Nobody that we were looking for. Interesting. Vancouver. Same story. Vegas, same story. Dude, Wakabayashi's 26 already. Good Lord. Are you Rick James? Robinson James. Washington. Still just stacked. Meebus now at 28 years old. And then Winnipeg. Turns out we had already seen everybody that we were looking for, I guess. Fair enough. Fair enough. Brand new season for us. We are going to be a significantly weaker team by design, as we let go of some of the members of the previously established core. 75 offense, 91 defense, 82 goaltending. We will see just how our offense does when it has a couple of defensive defensemen playing forward. It's so silly. Oh, God. Again, Delorme. Nightingale, Sontag, defensive defenseman, but with low elite potentials. So, again, that defense, the chemistry still sucks, but we're not too worried about that. Let me make sure that auto rotate goalie is on, because I Don't think I remembered to turn that on. What happened to the Goonfish? They got reverse swept by the Buffalo Sabres in round 1, and I said enough was enough. I went full Owen Hart and said enough is enough, and it's time for a change. And we'll see. Again, if we miss the playoffs this year, I'm not upset. If we make the playoffs this year, then Jesus, who knows what might happen. But I highly doubt that we do. We'll get a prediction up here, although I have a hunch that people will know kind of how this is going to go. And if I could only find a GIF to summarize how this is likely to go. If only. You know, I didn't even go for the GIF. Because that picture, I think, sums it up about perfectly, right? I would say. Maybe? How about that? That also fits the description quite well, if you ask me. But anyway, let's do it. Let's see what happens in the 2037-38 season for the Goons. We do still have some high-end talent to try and carry the team. There is a medium elite DFD, Matteo Sturm. The big question is 6'4" Vitaly Ledbedev. Just what will you be? Also, we have yet to lose in regulation. Okay, we finally started to lose in regulation. We were off to way too hot of a start. I'm just gonna end submissions for that. Oh, also, Ezra Corvo is still an RFA. Whoops. I thought they had signed. You know, Ezra, I don't know if you're going to be playing in the NHL this year, Ezra. I gotta be honest, because somehow we are 11-4-3, and it's kind of tough for you to justify being in our lineup right now. A little bit. Can I justify you being at the NHL level? I don't think I can. Ezra, you're starting off. You're starting off in the AHL. I'm sorry, but it's got to be done because this team's cooking at the moment. We'll take Jeff Hemingway out of the lineup and bring in Ezra, who is listed as a fourth liner, so I don't know, we might screw some things up here, but I'm not too worried. You should have signed the contract. Fuck you. Fuck you. 36 points in 19 games with 21 goals for Brady Wasselin, by the way. You know, until the team starts screwing it up big time, Corvo's going to stay down in the AHL. I think that's the kind of the wise decision. You know, the thing is, our team defense should be spectacular due to the amount of defense for... What the fuck is going on? This team has a chance to be our best regular season team ever. Not like in any franchise, but for this specific franchise run. What the hell is happening? All right, we're starting to lose a few more games now, but holy crap. 32, 12, and 4. I mean, even if this team plays 500 hockey the rest of the way, they're making the playoffs. Huh. It was our coach. We had the same coach last year. Huh. What the hell, man? This team is going to breeze their way into the playoffs. They might win 50 games. We have clinched a playoff spot. The Goonfish, despite that massive talent exodus and playing numerous defensive defensemen at forward, the Goons have won 54 games. Sweet Christ. 54, 22, and 6, the top record in the East. Our first ever President's Trophy. Our first ever President's Trophy. This game sucks. This game is ass. This game belongs in the trash. What the fuck? Oh my god, that's insane. And not for the good reasons. We had a middle, slightly towards the top offense. We had the second best goals against per game in the league. Only St. Louis was better. We scored 62 power play goals, the fourth most in the league, at 28%, so we had a top 4 power play. Penalty kill around 80%, which was top 10. Maybe you should have taken the picks. Imagine what this team would look like if we took the picks. Then again, we wouldn't have had Brady Wassel. Sweet Christ, man. Sweet Christ. We didn't even get, like, crazy development. Yes, we did. Pierce Tanabe has jumped to being a legitimate third-line player. Okay, we did get some development this year. Brady Wasselin, 68 goals, 60 assists, a career high in points. Loving life without the extra competition. 50 goals, 76 assists for Captain Caden Lindstrom, a new career high in points. Roger McQueen, 32 goals, 81 assists, a new career high in points by 1, but it's still the case. Defensive defenseman, Maxime Delorme. What? How the fuck are you putting up 34 points with 15 goals as a defensive defenseman? You can't skate! Melvin Cyphers, 19 goals, 7 assists. And Stefan Tamernis, 18 and 31 for a new career high, 49 points for Stefan. DFD Lars Sontag, 10 points and a -2. Ralph Heberlein, 26 and 26 for 52 points in his sophomore season. Ralph Heberlein. 16 and 16 for the 19-year-old Pierce Tanabe. Fourth line, 6 points for DFD Neil Nightingale, a -11. I mean, yeah. But he was like a 50-something, wasn't he? Now he's a 61. Holla if you hear me. 29 goals for Michael Haller. 42 points. And 7 assists, 9 points total for Austin Ma. Defensively. What? Oh, this game's broken. Like, broken. A DFD was an assist per game player. A defensive defenseman who, yes, has the attributes, but a DFD was an assist per game player. Holy shit. I was happy with him in the 50s. He had 88 fucking points. And for those that care, 44 giveaways to 24 takeaways. DeRoche, oh my god, even he was still great though at 59 points for the 27-year-old. Easily a new career high. Like, there was so much more puck to go around, or so much less puck to go around previously. Kapitanov, 26 points. 19 for 76 overall, Johan Leonard. 20 points for Turikov, and 8 for Weinhandel. Goaltending. Skewin at a 909. Bonk, I always want to say Bach, isn't like Dominic Bach. At a 910. This was one of the most bizarre seasons I have ever seen. Ever. I mean, that top power play unit is literally our best 5 players, so that makes sense. Second unit's Heberlein, Tamarinis, Haller, Kapitanov, Turikov. What the hell? And then we're going to lose in the first round. Like, what am I going to do? Not call up Corvo? I can't change anything about this team, clearly. This team is a modern marvel. Like, it doesn't make sense. This game doesn't make sense. Wasselin and Lindstrom led the league in points. You also had Steshkal, Betts, Bedard, Roger McQueen, of course, was up there for us too. Payarvi scored 63 this year. None of our former players hit the 100-point mark. 68 goals for Wasselin, led the league. He was over Bedard, Payarvi, Mebus. Sweet Christ. And then defensively, holy Zeev. Well, I thought Park might win the Norris. Maybe they give it to him off a plus-minus, but 92 assists is insane. But what a season for Chris Park. Goaltending-wise, the winningest, Klubertans, Kossa's up there, Skewin was top 4. Rookie race, Anisimov for Utah. Haller was 3rd in points for rookies. I'm just like dumbfounded here at what the hell we just saw, and I guarantee this team's gonna get just run over in the playoffs here. Morin, for the record, 70 points, which isn't bad. That's very typical for him. I don't remember where everyone else was. I know the Islanders obviously had 2 of our big guys. Bootland, 68 points. Letourneau on 76. So none of our old players did particularly poorly, but Christ, allowing them to go absolutely allowed the guys that were still here. The Giant Fist absolutely sucked. But it absolutely allowed our star players to just thrive. I'm not changing a damn thing about this team. Not a damn thing. That will be the team heading into the playoffs, even without Ezra. Worst case scenario, we find ourselves trailing heavily in the series. We can call up Ezra to try and save the day. But yeah, we're not changing a damn thing about these lines, even though I know in my heart we are not making it past the first round. There is no way. For the record, Bonk gets the start. That's the only change I'm making because his numbers were slightly better anyway. As we draw the Toronto Maple Leafs in the playoffs. Somebody has to figure out how to not blow it between these two teams. President's Trophy winning Goonfish hosting the Maple Leafs, who we got a peek at earlier, but they look like this. Zach Benson, Ivan Ryabkin, and Tony Shea. Beckham Edwards, Mikhail Eriksson, and Juraj Slavkovsky. Miroslav Spruks, Owen Beck, and Brett Harrison. Manuel Fritzmeyer, Lucas Pettersson, and Felipe Boudreau. That's quite the offense. The defense, Carson Lambos and Will Skahan. Jonas Wu and Owen Pickering. Jordan Harris with Jack Mathieu. And the goaltender, Eric Olsen. Ooh, Harenstam there as well. I mean, obviously they have a superior team on paper. Maybe except for the defense. We're going to see what these ratings are. On paper, they should kick the crap out of us. But somehow we won 11 more games than them in the regular season. If you look at our ratings, we are better on defense. They have the edge offensively and in goal, which doesn't really surprise me. I would fully expect us to get swept in this series. I'm not even being sarcastic or trying to be funny. We should get decimated. And I have a hunch that we will. There's a reason why good friend Sim for the Win likes to calendar sim. And that is because there is a clear-cut difference between how a team performs in the calendar sim versus the in-depth sim. I have a feeling if we in-depth sim, this team is fucked. If they calendar sim, they'll probably do better. But I don't calendar sim around here because that's not as fun. So I am very, very much expecting that we are going to get decimated here. But I am sticking to my guns in terms of heartbreak, unless we want to say now that we only calendar sim or only menu sim elimination games. If there was ever a time to test this, now is the time. I don't normally do this. We're going to calendar sim unless it's an elimination game. And we're going to see what happens. I never do it this way, but the intrigue is there. Let's sim the first two games at home against the Leafs. Oh, we're just fucked anyway. All right, Toronto's up 2-0.
Here comes a pizza. See it? Oh, jeez.
Highly unnecessary.
The perfectly timed resub message from one Wololo. 5-2 and 3-2 in overtime. The Leafs up 2-0 in the series. We will jump into the sim for game 3. And this could be it. First period, 1-1. Brady Wasselin scores. Second period is still 1-1. And we go to the third here. Obviously, I didn't look at the numbers or anything like that to see how this was playing out. But, yep, Spruks makes it 2-1. And this is exactly how I expected this season to go. Not to this extent. But we're so good for no reason that we screw ourselves out of a top pick. Then we get to the playoffs and we fuck it up again. The Maple Leafs are up 3-0 in the first round. I hate this game with a passion. An absolute, the fiery passion of 1,001 Suns. Just to say it's a more fiery passion than Helga's love for Arnold.
For those about to score,
oh my God, Statmaster with the 1 year. I appreciate you. Let's take a look at the numbers in the series so far, even though we are cooked. Absolutely cooked. Yeah, Bonk's going to be out for Calvin Skewin. Even the Park DeRoche pairing has not worked. The defense in general hasn't exactly worked for us. And then forward-wise, like no depth scoring whatsoever. The top line has been focused on and shut down. Let's just, you know what? We rode the memes to this point, but let's try to optimize from here. And just see what the hell we can do. So Vinehandle, Sontag, and Nightingale will go down. And for forwards, we'll call up Corvo, Helms, and Wright. So let's just go with the highest rated dudes to try and save the day here as best we can. Ciphers will be down. Then we got a couple of 74s. Let's just call these guys up. We'll see who it ends up playing. We're going to go best lines and just see what happens. It's the best overall team that we can possibly ice. And we'll see if anybody can save the day here. Right? It actually runs Capitan off with Park. I'll allow it. Skewin's in. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. We rode the memes to this point. Now let's get swept, you stupid sons of bitches. Let's get swept. First period. 2-1 Goons. Corvo and Helms, 2 of the call-ups. Sprooks gets 1 back for the Leafs. Second period, 2-2. So we go to the third with our season on the line. The Leafs looking for the sweep. We called up the reinforcements. Brady Wasselin makes it 3-2. The Leafs immediately tie it on a power play. Lindstrom, 5-3. If this team even dares to reverse sweep the Leafs, we avoid elimination 5-3 in game number 4. Brady Wasselin with a great game. The top line stepped up when we needed the most. We switched from the development lines to the best lines possible. And stay alive. It is game number 5 on home ice. First period, 2-0. 2-0 Goons, Wasselin and Lindstrom. Second period, 4-1 Goons. Third period, up by 3. Leafs can't score on the power play. Are we going to game number 6? Holy God. Mathieu scores. Wasselin gets it back. We are going to game 6. Oh my God. Give me a second here. God. Hat trick for Wasselin, by the way, skewing 34 out of 36 stops. We go to game 6 in Toronto after scoring 10 goals over the course of the last 2 games. First period, 1-0 Leafs. Power play goal for Slavkovsky. Second period, okay, it's over, GG's. We put the fear of God into them, but it's not going to be enough. Tanabe scores. I'm not falling for it, EA. I'm not falling for it. Screw you. I'm not falling for it. I'm not. See? There you go. There you go. That's why I told you I wasn't falling for it. I know this game's BS. We're not allowed to do the reverse sweeping. We're only allowed to be reverse swept. We win the President's Trophy. We lose to the Leafs in 6. On one hand, I'm furious because we won the President's Trophy and immediately blew it. On the other hand, we never should have won the President's Trophy. Very, very little depth scoring in that series. Obviously, we don't have a full look at how things went because call-ups and send-downs and such. Leafs were just a better team. I mean, yeah, we knew that. Oh, we certainly knew that. I don't even know what to say to this video game anymore. Just when I thought I had seen it all, I think if you put the people you had in during the switch, you could have won. Potentially. I mean, if we started the playoff run with that version of the team, yeah, maybe we would have won. If we didn't menu sim the first 2 games, or calendar sim the first 2 games, instead of the in-depth sim, we might have won. Who knows? We had better luck on the in-depth sim than the calendar sim. That was one of the dumbest things I have ever seen in a video game that season. Bravo, EA. Bravo.